Hello everyone, Grandma here. Today I'm making a summer sauce. I'm using fresh seasonal vegetables. 4 zucchinis, 4 yellow squash, 3 28-ounce cans of all-purpose crushed tomatoes. I like the Cento brand because of the lower sodium count. 1 whole onion, 2 cups sliced mushrooms, 1 green, 1 orange, 1 yellow pepper, 3 cloves garlic, a teaspoon of sugar, a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar, a half a stick of butter, a half a cup of fresh basil, and a half a cup of fresh parsley. The first thing I have to do is cut the onion. Now the onion is all chopped, and I'll put this aside in a bowl, and then I have to start with my peppers. So I have to start cutting my peppers. Now we have to remove the seed, and you have to take out the white because you don't want this part, because this is no good to eat. Then we'll cut this pepper up. Now the peppers have been all cut up and they're put in a bowl, and now I'll start with the zucchinis. We love zucchinis. I could have zucchini every day. I love it so much. And this reminds me, years ago, my grandparents always had a big vegetable garden. And they would have all kinds of vegetables, so they never had to go to the store to buy vegetables. They'd just go out to the garden and pick their own. And it was wonderful. I think I'll just half these because they'll be fine. As they cook, they get soft. Growing up, my parents also had a large vegetable garden, and they just loved it. They would get the fresh tomatoes and peppers and zucchinis from their garden. So really all my life I've always had a vegetable garden, and now Grandpa also has a vegetable garden. But we planted cucumbers, zucchinis, squash, tomatoes, and peppers, but we have not had any ripe ones yet. But I can't wait, because we just will go out to our garden and get all the fresh vegetables. Now the zucchini is all sliced, so now I'm going to start on slicing my yellow squash. Grandpa and I don't really eat much meat at all. We just really like our vegetables. And we only have a steak once a year, and then that's it. So as we got older, we learned that it was better just to eat the vegetables, and we don't need all that meat. Now the yellow squash is all cut up. Cut it up with my kitchen scissors to use in the recipe. Oh, I love basil, especially in making a red sauce. Now the basil is all cut up. I have a half a cup there. Now the parsley has been cut up. The garlic has been cut up. Now all the ingredients has been cut up and ready to be cooked, and you could see how colorful everything looks. Now it's time to cook everything. So the first thing is we're adding the butter. I'm going to melt the butter on medium heat. So now I will add the onions. And let this cook for a few minutes. Now the pepper and onion has been cooking for 5 minutes, so I will add the mushroom. But the smell is so delicious, the pepper and the onion. Now the mushrooms go in, and I'll cook them for at least 5 minutes before I add the squash. As the mushrooms are cooking, give it a stir. I cooked the mushrooms now for 5 minutes, so now I'm adding the squash. First the yellow squash, and then the green squash, which will cook down as they're cooking. I will cook the squash for 5 minutes. While this has been cooking, I have been giving this a stir. So every once in a while, give it a good stir. So now I'm adding the parsley and the basil and the garlic. And I'll give it another stir. That smells so good. Now the squash has been cooking 5 minutes, so now I'm adding the crushed tomatoes. I always add water to the can of tomatoes and then add it to the recipe. Now I'm giving this a good stir, and this will have to cook at least an hour, if not longer. Still on medium heat. Now after 10 minutes of cooking, I'm adding my tablespoon of apple cider vinegar and my teaspoon of sugar. And now this will cook for about an hour, but you have to keep stirring it every once in a while until I see everything's cooked. Then it will be all ready after all the vegetables are cooked. I'm cooking it now on medium-low heat. My summer sauce is finally cooked. It cooked about an hour and a half, and I'm not going to have this for dinner tonight. I'm going to have it tomorrow, because every time I make this, I have it the next day, because I find the next day it'll even taste better. Today we're having the summer sauce for dinner, so Grandpa is going to taste it. How's it taste, Grandpa?
It tasted delicious, darling.
Very good.
With all the vegetables we have in here, I don't miss meatballs.